So, do you know who Max Martin is? If you're watching this, you might. You've probably seen some things about him. You probably are aware of who he is by now, especially if you're reading this, or you're just curious and you're like, what's this video all about? Well, I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit about Max Martin. So, Max Martin is now the second most successful songwriter of all time with 27 number one singles on the Billboard top charts. He has a number of top 10 singles as well throughout the years. He's been writing songs since the 90s. He writes for artists like Taylor Swift, Maroon 5, Pink, Katy Perry, Backstreet Boys. He writes a number of pop songs. The Weeknd, another one. I'll go through the list, but it's crazy. This guy is behind so much music. It's unbelievable that if you haven't heard of him, it's unbelievable that it's just quietly back behind the scenes. And if you've ever heard this guy talk, he talks about how this music kind of comes to him, almost as if he's channeling it from something. I don't know. We've heard this before with different people who talk about their like information based on whatever their talent or whatever their thing is, just coming to them almost in dreams or just as if someone's communicating it to them. Is this like aliens or demons or extraterrestrials? Who knows? I don't know. It seems a little esoterical to me. Could just be, the idiot savant, essentially. I've known people that are just really good at things. You just can't even, there's no reason why they would be. It's like they have no training or no nothing. They're just, somebody can just rip apart an engine and put it back together without ever being trained to do so. It's interesting, but okay, I digress. Let me read this article by Variety. It's just a little bit of this. Then I'm going to show you the Wikipedia page of Max Martin. Read a little bit about that, and then I'm going to show you all the songs that he's wrote. It's crazy. Obviously, with collaboration, he collaborates with people too, but he's very particular about when he has an idea for a song, that the song goes the way that he says it should. Like, he's very particular about that. So he's very particular in the creative process of the song, which is different for songwriters. A lot of songwriters just write a song and then the artist will do with it what they will. They sell it to them and then they take royalties or whatever. But this article here is from Variety. It says Max Martin finally speaks on hit songwriting secrets. It's almost like science to me. Pop maestro Max Martin is not a fan of giving interviews, but he opened up in a new interview with UK Telegraph. This is not new. This is about 5 years ago. So that'll tell you how often he talks to people about what he does, revealing a few secrets of his success. While the now over 50-year-old hit maker is credited with more than 70 U.S. top 10 hits. More than that now, by the way. It says in 22 number ones, which is now 27, which again, like I said, puts him in the number 2 spot. I think it's ahead of or tied with John Lennon, I'm not sure, and just behind Paul McCartney. And which is funny about the two of them, Paul McCartney and John Lennon, 20 of their songs were their own Beatles songs that were number one songs. So he really is the number one songwriter of all time. He beats the two of them because these are songs that he's not writing it for himself or one very like a hit band like the Beatles were. Like the Beatles were prolific in their time period. He's doing this for a number of different artists, which makes it even crazier. So he wrote Hit Me Baby One More Time by Britney Spears, excuse me. Katy Perry's I Kissed a Girl, Taylor Swift, Shake It Off, and The Weeknd's Can't Feel My Face. He also wrote Blinding Lights. At the time of this article, wasn't released, so that's the number one song of all time. So probably partially due to COVID. But Martin, however, is being forced into the spotlight promoting the New West. Oh, okay. So he was doing a musical, so I don't want to get into that. But so he said, pay no mind to the odd lyrics. Sadness is beautiful, loneliness is tragical. That's lyrics from Backstreet Boys' song Shape of My Heart. Or the tragic slaughtering of grammar by Ariana Grande in the Zed collab Break Free. Now that I've become who I really are. Makes sense? And I only want to die alive. Sounds like something Kamala Harris would say. There is a method to the madness, Martin explains. I grew up on on Elton John and the Beatles, and I had no idea what they were saying. it was just gibberish. If we come to a place in a writing session where one word might be better sense, but the other option sounds cool, I will always pick the one that sounds appealing to me. If you say something meaningful with the right sort of phonics, then you're golden, he says. So basically what he's saying is he doesn't care about how the grammar of the word or of the sentence sounds. It's more just about how the flow of the song and how cool that sounds. It almost could be nonsense, essentially, what they're saying. Like I've read those couple of lines there were pretty nonsensical, but makes sense in the song. And really, that's all that matters, I guess, when you're writing hit number one songs. So he also says that there's an equal number of syllables, collaboration's key. So there's a number of secrets that he has when he's writing his songs. Irrelevant unless you're a songwriter. But here's what Wikipedia has to say about him. I thought this was kind of cool. It's, number one, it's going to tell you his actual name and stuff. So his actual name is Carl Martin Sandberg. Sandberg. Sounds Jewish. From Sweden, though. This guy's from Sweden. Known professionally as Max Martin, is a Swedish record producer and songwriter. He rose to prominence in the late 1990s with songwriting credits on a string of hit singles such as Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time, the Backstreet Boys' I Want It That Way, Celine Dion's That's the Way It Is, and NSYNC's It's Gonna Be Me. Martin has written or co-written 27 Billboard Hot 100 number one singles, 25 of which he has produced or co-produced, an all-time record for the chart as of March 2024. His credits include Katy Perry's I Kissed a Girl and Roar, Maroon 5's One More Night, Taylor Swift's Shake It Off and Blank Space, and The Weeknd's Blinding Lights and Save Your Tears. Blinding Lights is the best performing song of all time, according to the chart. Martin has written the second most number one singles on the chart, behind only Paul McCartney, who has 32, having surpassed John Lennon, who has 26, and his 27th number one in March 2024. Many of Martin's hits were used in the 2019 jukebox musical and Juliet. Whatever. Okay, so let's just get down here to his music here. The list is going to start right here. Here's his number one singles. So the first one was Hit Me Baby One More Time, Britney Spears, and It's Gonna Be Me, NSYNC. I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry, So What by Pink, My Life Would Suck Without You, Kelly Clarkson, 3 by Britney Spears, number 3, I guess, I never heard that one, but California Girls by Katy Perry, Teenage Dream by Katy Perry, Raise Your Glass by Pink, Hold It Against Me by Britney Spears, E.T. by Katy Perry, a lot of Katy Perry songs I didn't even know were number ones. Last Friday Night by Katy Perry, Part of Me, Katy Perry, One More Night, Maroon 5, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together by Taylor Swift, Roar by Katy Perry, Dark Horse by Katy Perry, Shake It Off by Taylor Swift, Blank Space by Taylor Swift, Bad Blood by Taylor Swift, Can't Feel My Face by The Weeknd, Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, Save Your Tears by The Weeknd, My Universe by Coldplay, Yes and by Ariana Grande, and We Can't Be Friends by Ariana Grande. So it seems, the funny thing, it seems like an artist will pick him and then he'll work with that artist and do a number of songs like he did with Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, it's like Britney Spears, now Ariana Grande, Pink. But it seems like this guy just knows the recipe and how to make a number one pop song. And these are number ones. He has a number of songs. You go through this list here. Anything in the blue here, you'll see. Hold on, let me get to the top. The long ass list. So in the blue indicates that it reached the top 10 on the Billboard 100. And the yellow is the top. I've already read the number ones, but look at this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 36. You get the idea. Like he's probably got another, 50? Like another 50 songs that are in the Billboard Top 100, in the top 10, sorry, in the top 10 of the Billboard Top 100. This guy, everything he touches turns to gold. And you've never even heard of this guy. That's the weirdest part about it. I'd never even heard of this guy prior. I caught this little video, somebody talking about it. What's the deal here? How is this guy so successful and you never really even hear about him? These are like he's like almost like the BlackRock or State Street behind the economy. You know, the fact that they own like pretty much everything. They own mostly S&P 500. This guy is responsible for a ton of the music you listen to, and the number one music you listen to. Never even heard of him. It's creepy. It's weird. It's weird shit that somebody can be so prolific and so quiet, and just flies under the radar. Again, is this a case of some type of alien interference, some angels and demons type shit, selling their soul to the devil? No, it's this weird stuff. But go look them up. You'll be surprised as well.